The Sword of Heaven and Earth. So, you might be wondering, Dan, how did you get here? And I'll tell you what happened. I cheated. After accidentally overrunning my save state, I was very cross. And I didn't feel like replaying that map because it wasn't fun. And my view is that if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. So I decided to save myself the trouble and warp skip to chapter 27 through the power of Builder by turning one of the tiles in the first section of the last map into a siege tile. The ending event was super jank as a result of it, so I didn't want to show it. But Lynn shows up, and this is Nurgle as a dragon. Something, they've been keeping Nurgle as a dragon, is my understanding of this part of the plot. And he makes the roar noises. He's really upset. Yeah, there was something funky with the end event, at least with the end event that I knew got here. So I might have like messed up in how I did things, but we ended up here now. This is Nurgle. And this is my squad, dude. I think we have the Dragon Slayer. This is gonna suck, honestly. This is absolutely going to suck. I have 2 Lins now, though. Yeah, this is absolutely going to suck. I might be soft-locked, but we won't know until we try. Yes, everyone says they're line, dude. The classic. Guys, this takes so much time to event. Making every single face show up. Every character having to say like their little generic thing as they go into final battle. Seeing what goes on the back end for this, I'm like, dude, don't even bother. Who cares? But I respect the effort. Sats is here, though. Yeah, so, hello! Everyone, let this be our final battle. It's always something like that. They're always saying stuff like that. So I think we just have to defeat Nurgle. Dark Breath. I really hope we only have to defeat Nurgle, because otherwise it'll be stinky. Don't tell. Okay, these guys have Nosferatus. Let's see, do they move in? Alright. Well, actually, Wormax Gim could be a play. I have double killing edges here. That's nice to know. Let's do this. Guys, I have no idea what to expect, by the way. Everyone else is just going to kind of chill because I don't think anyone's going to do anything on this map besides Gim. Maybe I need SoHaE for some stuff. But everyone's here. Everyone's here. Alright, let's see what you got. Gim! Alright. It's up to Gim. He's insane, dude! Gim is going off right now. This is Gim's moment. Gim doesn't even get doubled by the Swordmaster boss. No, Gim! Alright. Alright, I see how it is. Is this going to be the classic bait and switch setup? the fabled bait and switch here in this ROM hack. The end game is kind of like that. When the enemies are so tough and all you want to do is just pull them because you can't reasonably damage them enough. It's kind of stinky. Dude, it's one of the... Dude, don't make your enemies bulky. That's some advice. So yeah, let's see. Alright. Okay, this might work out. The Sacae can't do crap, dude. I'll take speed on Sacae here. The damage output, dude. 4 damage in endgame with my best units. Let's go. At least game can do 8. Alright. Well, you know, we can turn on the animations, I think, here. We're at the climactic final moments. Let's do some Brave Axe action. Get everyone queued up, ready to go. Look at everyone. They're all here, dude. Everyone is here. Come on, Gim. Let's go, Gim. Oh, get out of here with your perfect hit sleep staff. Oh my god. This game, dude. Wyverns spawning from the abyss? Come on, game. Come on, game. Alright, good thing we bought that restore staff. Can Bruno finish it off? Bruno! What a god. Hit points. Alright. So the dragon's not moving. Sergei's here. Help us out, bud. Sergei getting a level. Speed, defense, luck. Sergei, he's ready, dude. He's like, oh, we're in endgame now. It's time for me to show you my true power. All right. Please don't hit. Auto just in range. Guys, we're going to end it today. We're ending this tonight at 6:58 in the morning. Because I'm ready to move on. Dude, this hack's great, but this ending, dude. Oh, she about to get one hit. Yep. Alright. No, we're not doing that. Dude, I just don't want to play this. Is really my issue right now. I really just don't feel like playing this. I'm sorry for whining, but I just don't feel like playing the game. And that's unfortunate. But I do just suck at tactics, and I should unironically get good. But I've really been forcing myself to try and finish this. I'm sorry for the viewers out there who are watching. We're just gonna take this low and slow. Low and slow. Alright, let's see. I wonder if I missed the Godo or something like that, because not having like a proper Godo is kind of stinky. But I really do wish that I enjoyed games that tried really hard to be hard. But I just really struggle to enjoy them. I really like when games just kind of let me have a nice cruising altitude. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I get very little out of games that are just like so hard that you just need to bait and switch like this. Like when the difficulty, like one of the things I'll say is that, and I always use this example, but it's a good example, is that Souls of the Forest is hard, but it challenges you to go fast. Most games when they're hard, they just try and make you go slow. And that's what I don't appreciate. Alright, how many uses left? 8. Okay. Alright. Gim. Do these guys move? Oh, get out of here. Steel lances? Alright, these guys are not that tough. Don't like that crit rate though. You have 3 range, don't you? So if I can move up, I take 37, but it's fine because I'll live. I do kind of like this setup where it's like the enemies come from all sides. I'm just not in the mood to play the game. I'm just so done. Oh, let's go, Nurgle. He's got crit on him, too! Purple Nurgle. I actually like that palette. See, you have to crit me? No. This is just unwarranted. Alright, we're gonna see what we can do here. You're doing 15. This is gonna be rough stuff. Alright. How does Sagan do? Even with... Oh my god, Sagan. Ugh. Is this my punishment for relying on my Jagan to solve my problems? Okay, so these guys have irons, which is kind of funny. We're going in. Nope. Okay. The funny iron sword. All right, now Bruno. Let's we can do this and then yeah. All right, let's see how this pans out. At least that 38% was kind enough to kind of just make these enemies weak. At the same time, it's like, to me, it's just drawing things out. No. I say, oh, these enemies are weak. Yeah, this is stinky. This is... I say, oh, these enemies are weak. These enemies are weak. Yeah, I'm just not playing well. I'm just over it, dude. Alright, Nurgle, we get it. And there's a magic seal. Dude, this is too much. This is absolutely too much for me. Yeah, I don't know what you want me to do, game. I don't have enough units for this. I don't have enough units that are good, is really my problem. Look at this. How do I contend? I mean, I haven't even skipped that much of the game. But even then, like, once I got to this point, like, only Gim could do anything. Oh my god. Oh, I can't even do anything there. Alright, Trakina. Sergey, can you please end this? Sergey hitting something. Alright. Well, I'm glad that game was there. I really want to play this game again and try better next time. You get doubled too? Oh my god. I hate this. I really, really hate this. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, Otto. mean, I think this run is... This attempt is just, like, absolutely garbage. My only healer left is Sacae. And the magic seal moves, dude? Oh my god, this game is brutal. I respect how... Dude, I respect how brutal this is. But it's just needless. It's absolutely... Like, what, dude? Remember when this hack was just FE6? FE6 normal mode? What happened? I really... That's the thing that probably upsets me the most, is just how much the game lulled me into thinking it wasn't going to be this hard. Dude, game, what do you want me to do here? Let's see. Guess I'm going to go over here. Sacae, netting stuff. Getting some hits. Alright, let's get, Elibe out of here, so... Yeah, I think I'm screwed. Okay. Okay. Dude, this game, I don't think I can win. How am I supposed to win? Yeah, dude, like, when your only option is Gim. Dude, I've been training Sagan since chapter 1, and this is what it got me. This is where I'm at right now. Guys, I don't think this is possible. I really don't think this is possible. I don't know if it's just me, but so many hacks try to make their endgames really hard and climactic, and I find that it just makes it boring and not very fun. Like, look at this. I have absolutely my best units, dude, can barely contend. Attacking is such a bad idea all the time. Guys, don't do this, please. We're gonna go out fighting at least. This is bad. Moving magic seal in the finale with a 37 damage fire dragon. This is good. Sacae, you tried. Yeah. The only unit that has been able to do damage is Gim. And he's doing 15 at a 58 hit rate. I mean, I guess Luna. Shurkina with Luna and rigging. I can't even crit though because this guy's got a... Oh, he doesn't have the critty thing. He just has 30 luck. Luna Trakina could have been a play. Yeah. A little punish. Not even a little. It is punishing for blind players to have to go up against this. This is a wall, dude. This is a hard wall. I've been training Sagan for this moment, dude, and he's great. These are 6 stats, and this is what it got me, dude. Wind sword, nothing. How much do you need to give your endgame boss 38 defense? Not even like minding like all these extra guys, dude, that I can't even double. Guys, this actually might be the moment I throw in the towel. And I don't even think, like, had I not cheesed and skipped some of those maps, I don't think it would have mattered because I would have only been able to give experience to Gim and Sagan. Like, meaningful experience to Gim and Sagan. And I don't think at that point, like, Trakina with her 12 magic still wouldn't have been very good. She'd be doing, okay, so she would be doing, like, 12 damage to this guy and getting 1 hit. Because she doesn't have enough hit points. I'd have to rely on rigging 12 damage crits. Yeah, this was, I think, a losing effort from the start. I'm actually upset, because the game has defeated me. The game has defeated me. And I really, 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 really like this ROM hack. This was such a good hack. And the first 20 chapters were overall fantastic. Honestly, some of the most fun I've ever had playing a ROM hack was the first 20 chapters. If the game ended at chapter 19, it would probably be one of the best hacks of all time. But this last, like, stretch of the game has been really tough for me to get through, man. It's been really tough for me to, like, sit down and play. I actually wake up feeling anxious. So, I know I've said this before. I only record early in the morning before I go to work. That's really, like, my time where I know, okay, I have, like, an hour or two. I might be able to do some recording. I'll be sharp. I have my coffee. I can play Fire Emblem at maybe a higher level than in the evenings. This is my time. And many mornings throughout the course of this past month, I've woken up at like 4 a.m. and my first thought is, I really don't want to play the Sword of Heaven and Earth today. And I just lay in bed and I don't get up. And I try to force myself to go back to sleep, but I actually like get stressed thinking about playing this game. I get stressed thinking about recording. And that's a problem. That's how much I've disliked this last leg of the hack. It's been really tough to muster the willpower to do it. And I haven't had much fun. Which is a shame, dude. And I'm like, I don't think I would have such a visceral reaction if the early game wasn't so strong. Like, if the game didn't get me so interested and committed to it, I wouldn't mind that the end game was kind of BS. But there was so much good stuff about this hack that I could gush on about forever, and there's so many cool ideas, and it's very innovative, but then the difficulty spike at the end is just so unnecessary. It is so unnecessary. And like, I genuinely don't think I can beat this final map without insane rigging because of how it's structured and because of how this final boss is designed. I really could probably only do this like rigging crits with Trakina, who I don't even think can take a counter. Actually, can Trakina take a counter? Do I even have Luna? Okay, so Trakina dies, so that's not happening. And I think I have a Luna. No, I don't even have a Luna. Okay. So I was screwed. Maybe there was a Luna in one of those chests I stole. And Gim's doing 15 with the Worm Slayer. Because that's giving him... Yeah. It's just not happening, dude. So... Guys, I think I'm going to chalk this up as a loss. Which I know is really upsetting and unfortunate. But man... I just don't think this is happening. I really don't think this is happening, and I don't want to sit through it. So, this game broke me, honestly. This game broke me. Kudos to you, 38%. I've never been so upset at a ROM hack. But I would still say, maybe this will be controversial given all of the hemming and hawing I've done. Sword of Heaven and Earth is probably... No, it is, in my opinion. It's still an S tier hack. S tier completed hack. I would say Road to Ruin still better. I think this is number 2. Just because the gameplay in general is so good. And if you can give me 20 chapters of good gameplay, I'm into it, dude. I'm into it. It really just, like, the last couple of chapters really just dragged it down for me. But the beginning was so good. I had so much fun playing this. I've never felt such, and I'm going to keep rambling about this, I've never felt such a wide array of emotions playing a single game. I had so much fun. I've been stressed out beyond... Dude, this is actually more stressful than my job. It's like I go to work now to relax because I don't have to play this hack. That's a problem. That's where I'm at. Or it's like, it's 7 o'clock. Okay, time to go to work, thank God. No more Sword of Heaven and Earth. That's how it's felt the past couple of chapters. Guys, I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it. But yeah. I'll spend a couple minutes talking about my thoughts and feelings on this hack because I don't think we're getting anywhere. So let me let's look at the final boss a bit longer. So overall, like it's really hard to evaluate this game's writing because I can't read Japanese. I also find it difficult to evaluate games that use pre-existing worlds as a backdrop. I would say from what I've seen of this game, it generally does a good job of like, well, it clearly establishes that this is like an alternate interpretation of Elibe, and I'm fine with that. I think I don't mind it as much as I probably would have earlier in my life, where I'm like, ooh, you gotta be doing custom stuff. I mean, I think custom stuff is better in general. I don't think that this game... I mean, I'd have to see it translated. I don't think it needed to be a custom world, but it works. It works as it is. I think the game does a nice job of, like, using the pre-existing, like, lore and world to create something new. And since 38% was very transparent that, like, this is alternate interpretation. This isn't meant to be, like, a reimagining. This is just, like, I'm using Elibe, and it's an alternate story. Done. Fine. Peace. I'm into that. It works. Not my favorite, but I'm into it. The overall eventing and level of effort, technically, excellent. And this was in a Feditor Nightmare era, where that shit was hard. So I respect the hell out of it. If you open this hack in Builder, there's so much going on that I don't understand. And I find that fascinating. There's so much, there's not even just in terms of like the cinematography. The cinematography in this hack is fine. Like, it's definitely more than I would ever do. But it's solid enough, and it takes a lot of time. But the conditional eventing based on gameplay, really, really sharp. Super strong, dude. Overall, technically impressive. And just the creativity. I can't state this enough. This hack was so creative. Like, think about it. This hack released in 2015. What other hacks were being worked on in 2015 that had, like, such unique gameplay ideas and executions? I feel like Bloodlines is the only one that comes to mind. I mean, The Last Promise obviously has a lot of cool stuff in it. But, like, Order of the Crimson Arm is fairly vanilla by comparison. Road to Ruin is fairly vanilla by comparison. Like, Road to Ruin, like, I love the game, but I don't think that it's necessary. I wouldn't call it innovative. Order of the Crimson Arm, I wouldn't call it innovative. This is innovative. There's a lot of innovative chapter ideas, and 38% does a phenomenal job of using vanilla systems to create something new. Like, the die and escape map was really fun. I think there were a lot of cool, like, green unit mechanics. There was the prison train chapter with Arman that I thought was pretty neat. A lot of the early game, I thought a lot of the maps in general, like in that first, like, the first, like, 70% of the hack, like, just overall, like, really solidly designed and fun. He was really lenient, too, with anti-turtles. Like, I think the player, I think 30% expected the player to play at a much slower pace, and that makes sense, given the time it was built, and just the general, I think, preferences of the larger community at the time. I think only more recently has it been like, you gotta go fast, efficiency is everything. Like, in 2013, 2015, we weren't really having those conversations as much. At least as far as I can recall, it was much more niche. Now it's a little bit more mainstream in the FE community. And so, like, a lot of the anti-turtles, for me at least, felt very, very lenient, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. The issue I take with it is that the game really, and where the game, I think, falls flat a little bit for me is it lulls you into this false sense of security a lot of the time. Like, the hack is not that difficult. For a long time, it kind of stays steady with, like, this FE6 normal mode plus type difficulty. And it kind of stays in this place, and it gives you a lot of units, and for me, I felt really empowered to Iron Man. And Iron Man in the first, like, 20 chapters is super doable blind, and it was really fun and engaging, and it is some of the most fun I've had playing a hack. Like, up to the Lin chapter in 19, some of the most fun I've had playing a hack, blind Iron Man. I recommend this game to everyone. Everyone should give this a try, especially if you're making a hack. There's so much cool stuff in here, and it's really well designed for most of it. Now, this, like, post-Lin mode, this post-Lin map, like, it kind of feels like post-game, almost. It feels like a post-game, like, optional challenge post-game. It's like, okay, you rescued Lin, now here's the post-game. And maybe I didn't feel the same sense of stakes because I wasn't reading or playing the writing. But man, like, I just felt like it was a completely different game. A game where I really could only use Gimmon meaningfully. Which is sad. It's sad. I do think that if I played this game again, knowing what I know now, I would have a much better time playing it and getting through it and knowing kind of what to expect and preparing more for that. I thought, I think I got a little carried away with having fun at certain points, like using Feeler extensively and then letting him die. Probably a mistake to use the funny Manakete with the silly name. Probably a mistake to let certain units die. Probably a mistake to just, like, lean so heavily on 2 units even earlier on and not give the experience elsewhere. Like, okay, I got a little punished for it, but the game didn't really indicate that to me. That blind playthrough experience, I think, is so key. Like, I would so much rather the hack be, like, phenomenal blind and worse on repeat playthroughs. Because the blind playthrough is a magical experience. It is the player's first experience. Most people are going to play it blind more than they're going to replay it, in my opinion. So making a really good blind experience is key. And the game had an excellent blind experience. A blind Iron Man of this game through Chapter 20, very doable, very reasonable. I don't think I'm very good at Fire Emblem. This was very, very fair. Until the last 7 chapters. And that's kind of like with the difficulty, like, it gets to a point where you have these really, like, beefy super units that you're fighting against, and your only option is to slow down. Slowing down, dude, is just killer. It's just killer. So, and again, I'm looking at this a lot through more of a modern lens. Maybe at the time this would have been looked at differently because it's big and it's epic and it's difficult. And I respect that. I respect that for what it was at the time. I wouldn't design like this again. But yeah, this Endgame, like, dude, Chapter 20 just took the wind out of my sails completely and made this game feel like a huge chore to finish. And now I can't even finish it, so I feel a little let down, unfortunately. I still think that the first, like, 70% of this game is so fantastic that it's still, like, this is my second favorite complete ROM hack of all time, behind Road to Ruin. And the reason I like Road to Ruin so much is because it's just so easy to get through. It's such an easy hack to play. The writing is generally pretty solid. It's very pretty. It's a very easy game to play. The end game doesn't drag. It doesn't have a huge difficulty spike. It has a really good end game map as far as hacks go. But Sword of Heaven and Earth, I would say, and that same, like, Road to Ruin's shorter, so maybe it's a little bit easier, but, like, I would say if I was to put Sword of Heaven and Earth up to Road to Ruin at like the same length, I think Sword of Heaven and Earth is better for the duration of all of Road to Ruin. But as an overall experience, Road to Ruin is better because of this last leg that's just really difficult. And I respect the game for like trying to be hard. It just kind of felt like I trained all these units and it didn't work out. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have used Sacae and Jeff, but the game made me feel like I could. That's the problem. Like, at least, like, so FE6 hard mode, you know immediately, all right, Wendy's going to be a pain. OJ is going to be a pain. Sophia is going to be a pain. Melody is going to carry. Rutger is going to carry. Percival is going to carry. It's very clear. In this game, it's like, okay, wow, like, I could actually use Sacae, and, like, he's pretty decent. Okay, Jeff actually can, like, get a couple kills. This is fine. He's, like, he's workable. And then it's just like, nah, dude. Nah. And part of it's the growth not cooperating. But that difficulty spike. Just really, like, kind of pointing the middle finger at the player and saying, like, you should have known better. And I don't like that. And that kind of leaves a poor taste in my mouth. But man, this hack was so good. And it maintained a high level of quality for very long. I mean, this is a long hack by all measures. But it maintained a very high quality bar for a long time. Chapter 8 is probably my favorite indoor map I've ever played. I had so much fun with that chapter. It was really fun. Sagan might be the best Jagan I've ever had the pleasure of using. He's such a fun unit. And he's really good. Maybe a little too good, but he's really fun to use. The overall, like, unit, like, most of the units were really fun and solid to use. Like, a lot of them felt good to use. They were fun. There was a lot of choices. Like, I feel like I could go back and play it totally differently, which is great. There's a lot of replay value here. Knowing the end game, though, I feel like a lot of the replay value kind of goes out the window because, well, I can get through the first 20 chapters relatively in a straightforward way, doing whatever I want. This last leg, dude, it's like you got to prepare very specific. And that's unfortunate. And that's kind of like the FE6 hard mode problem, right? Where it's like, dude, you didn't use Rutger? Like, what are you doing? How are you going to beat these chapters? This game was like, use whoever you want. It's fine. But now you're going to get punished for it. And that I don't like. So it really is like a tale of two. It's a little bit like Order of the Crimson Arm. Tale of two halves. I would say Order of the Crimson Arm, first 13 chapters, great. Last 13 chapters, less great. This is like a little bit more like extreme hot, extreme cold for me. Where it's like the first 20 chapters, generally fantastic. Probably like the best like stretch of like 20 chapters in any Fire Emblem game I've played. Just super fun. Last 7 chapters, stress-inducing. I don't want to get out of bed. And that's just like a problem. And I think I wouldn't feel so strongly if the early game wasn't that good. I know I'm rambling and repeating myself, but man, I really like this hack. I really, really like this hack. I know I've been whining and complaining for so long now, but this was such a good hack. And I would encourage everyone to give it a try. Learn from my mistakes. And if you've beaten this hack, I'm really curious how you beat it. Because I don't know how I'm doing it. I really don't know. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Wow, this hack was great. It was a really good hack. We had a good run. But it isn't possible. I don't think winning is possible with this. I mean, it's definitely doable. But it just... I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours and try and, like, rig 58 hits with Gim and his Wormslayer. That's just not a good use of my time. And it's not a good use of your time. So I'm going to respect that. But... yeah. I'm still just like, man. This hack was sick. This is a really sick hack. I really like it. And I think now looking at it with this modern lens, it's so easy for us to say like, oh, you could just do these things, it would be way better. But it's like, we didn't know then. The priorities were different then. I think there's a lot more emphasis on like being like fair to the player for blind play that didn't necessarily exist when the game was being built. But man, one of the best hacks of all time. Easily one of the best hacks of all time. Super innovative for when it was made. I think there's so many good ideas to lift from this hack. There's a lot of good lessons, though, to take away, and I would say some of them are like, it's great that the game gives you a big cast to play with and you can Iron Man, but then it kind of feels like 38% like ran out of ideas, and like the units start to trickle in towards the end, and they're not really good enough to justify or good enough to be meaningful. Like I didn't even want to deploy Guy. Bruno was like okay, like he took hits. Sas was solid, but Sagan was still better. But I've also pumped Sagan full of stat boosters, so take that as you will. So like the cast was a little too heavily front loaded. I probably would have done more, keep the front loading, push off some of the mid loading towards the end, and like make those units a bit stronger. So my feeling with like mid to late game unit design is they need to be crutch characters to get you through the game. I don't think the characters and how many joined you were really going to help you get through the game, given the general strength of the enemies and just the density as well. So there's that. A lot of cool, innovative map design choices. I think a lot of the maps that I took issue with were largely maps that just like wasted your time and made you play for too long. It was a pretty consistent theme throughout this hack, like the last chapter, with those enemies that just pop in out of nowhere on a route map, which is really stinky and not very transparent. The transparency in chapter 20, notorious. But like 20 turns of defending the line, the 16 turn defense map early on, the chapter with you have to escort the villagers and it takes a really long time. Like a lot of these maps like had good concepts, but they wore out their welcome. Just a little too long. But there were a lot of good chapters too. And it was overall very fun to play. Chapter 8, a standout in my opinion. Even like the simplicity of like chapter 1 was really good. I liked 4X. 4X was really fun. The wagon thief chapter. The defend map where you get Tiger, I also really liked. I thought that was really fun. That was a really good defend map. Partially because you could end it early, but the boss also charged, which was great. The die and escape map stands out in my mind. That was really fun and innovative. Trying to think what else stands out. Yeah. I just overall had like a really pleasant experience playing most of this hack, and then my experience kind of turned to poop. But man, I really want to play it again. That's like where I'm at right now. It's like, so usually what ends up happening a lot of times when I play Fire Emblem is I'll play through it, and then I'll like kind of soft lock myself because I made mistakes, and then I'll play through again knowing what I need to know. And that's kind of what this hack is forcing me to do. And I don't generally love that happens, but it's just kind of what's happening. Man. So overall, guys, I'm sorry that this is how it ends. But this was a really good hack. And I'm very glad that I played it. I want to thank 38% because this hack was really cool, and I have a ton of respect for what 38% was able to do given the time this was made. Even if some of the gameplay beats are a little not to my taste, it's such an impressive body of work, and I really admire that. And technically it's very impressive from a creativity standpoint. This is more creative than most ROM hacks today even. And it does so in like such a vanilla way. It just feels very natural, which I really like. It's very Thracia inspired in some senses. It's really good. ton of respect for the Sacae and what it was able to do. The gameplay design overall is really strong for the first 70% of the hack. It gets a little, again. There's so much to like from this hack, and there's so much to take away. I really encourage you to give it a try. I want to thank Pontagonist for also recommending this hack to me. I don't think I would have looked into it had I not seen that he liked both Vision Quest and this hack. I'm like, well, if he likes Vision Quest, then I'll probably like it too. And he wasn't wrong. This is a great hack. But man, this was tough. Other than that, I want to thank Lucas for writing the nice summaries every chapter. It's really fun to go back and reread and see what was happening that I missed. Just everyone who commented along the way and hung out and watched. It's really cool. I'm always floored that people actually want to watch me struggle through Fire Emblem. I apologize if I was a little whiny towards the end. It's been really hard for me, guys. It's been really hard. I've been very tempted to just drop it or just take a long break, but I didn't want to. But I think that's going to change now. Now that we're done. I'll be making some announcements soon. But with that, guys, this is the Sword of Heaven and Earth, a Fire Emblem 7 ROM hack by 38%. I don't have much else to say on it. This was really fantastic overall. Really fantastic overall. I could see myself going back and replaying the first 19 chapters of this over and over again. Easily, dude. Easily. I'll just pretend the late game doesn't exist. Super good. Super good. One of the best complete ROM hacks of all time. Overall, really high praise for the work. I think the changes that needed to be made are pretty straightforward at this stage. But again, it's a product of a different time, for a different audience, for a different era. And I have to respect that. But I hope we can learn from this hack and continue to make our own. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. And I'll see you guys next time for whatever comes next. Until then, be safe and thanks for hanging out and watching The Sword of Heaven and Earth. Bye now.